Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is Brennan Lee from Consciousness and Skill Worldwide. Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you about or answer a question. Is it possible to get enlightened without doing a workshop? It's like a letter. I'm reading the book of not knowing. I'm working on self-inquiry. I have two questions. Cool. Awesome. One, can I get enlightened without workshop? Can I get enlightened without doing a workshop? The short answer, excuse me, I'll just read the whole thing, then I'll go through. One, can I get enlightened without workshop or without doing a workshop? Because it's not possible for me to come to the USA. Number two, what is the sound of silence that I hear while in meditation? Is this the truth and the source of everything that Sandeep Maheshwari talks about? Please answer these questions, and I am really thankful for the Book of Not Knowing. Cool. Thank Peter. He wrote it. You can email him and tell him that. Okay. One, can I get enlightened without a workshop? Yes. Of course you can. Okay? There's no, depending on what it is that you're talking about when you say enlightenment. But what I mean when I say enlightenment, can I get enlightened without doing a workshop? Of course you can. Because there's no prerequisites to getting enlightened. You don't need to sit down, meditate for 20 years, eat the right food, do the right stuff. No, it doesn't matter. Why? Because enlightenment has nothing to do with relational events, period. You probably just think it does, okay? But it doesn't. Now, don't take my word for it. Go for it. Do you need to do a workshop to get enlightened? No. Do you need to eat special food to get enlightened? No. Can you take drugs and get enlightened? No. Can you meditate your way to enlightenment? No. Can you think your way to enlightenment? No. Can you feel your way to enlightenment? No. No. Because enlightenment's true already. Like right now. Whether I'm thinking one thing or not, whether I'm feeling this way or not, whether I'm eating, not eating, whether I live or die, you see? Irrelevant. All experience, perception, period, irrelevant. Does not matter when it comes to enlightenment. Okay? Do you need to do a workshop? No, you don't. However, okay, so I would add that, a workshop, if done correctly and oriented toward, what I mean when I say enlightenment or toward consciousness, but really toward consciousness, not pretending, and that can get really gummy and really sticky and really confusing depending on the person or the people that are involved in the work. They could think it's something it's not. They could confuse it. They could go somewhere else. They could do this plus that. There's all kinds of challenges there, and it's useful to be really clear on what's what, okay? A workshop, a live event, can add a lot of power to your work. Why? Well, for example, when you see the environment here, it is designed to minimize distraction. And it's designed to be a place for you to work. And there's also a live teacher. You see, now I'm live right now on a screen of some kind, likely. No, not likely, for sure. I don't see how you could watch this without a screen of some kind. And it's as if I'm live, but I'm not. There's a qualitative difference if you were to have the phone down and then see me right in front of you, or another facilitator right in front of you, or Peter right in front of you. That's a totally different deal than just looking at a screen. And there's a lot more power that can occur when there is a skilled facilitator in the room physically, their presence, their capacity also to answer questions and then, work with the individual greatly empowers the individual to make progress much faster than just, hearing about it on a screen, these kinds of things. So, but to get enlightened, no, there's no prerequisite. You don't need to. It just seems that, using the example of, say, a contemplation intensive, which we do, the amount of power that's available is much greater when you're in a workshop than not. And it just so happens, now I'm not saying that this is a set thing. It doesn't matter. It never matters. Never did matter. And yet it matters. And it doesn't. Okay? But that's neither here nor there, and ultimately doesn't matter. Okay? Now, I'm also reading a bit into the question that it sounds like you are interested in enlightenment or becoming directly conscious, okay? Now, if that's the case, and you don't have access to a workshop setting, and you don't have access to a teacher, which if you think about it, think about the first person that got enlightened. Just think about that for a second. The very first person, there must have been like the very first one somewhere, right? Or creature, whatever. Did they have a teacher? Did the first person to get enlightened have a teacher? No. 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 See, so it's possible. Okay? Now, if you want enlightenment, what I'm saying when I say enlightenment, you have to be really careful with that, be clear. Then it would behoove you see, I would advise, I'm giving some advice, although, it's, okay? For you to get really curious about who you are, for you to get really curious about what you are and really want to know what's true. Beyond what anybody's told you, any books you've ever read, any videos you're watching, including this one. And even Ralston would say, throw out the book of not knowing. And when people come for workshops, I say, throw out everything you've ever heard about enlightenment and just get what's true. See? What are you? Who are you? What are you? What is life? What is existence? What is real reality? What's the truth? What is it? See? Get massively curious and commit yourself to finding out, and then, well, find out and let me know what happens. Okay? That's if you don't have a workshop, you don't have a teacher. You're going to have to do it yourself. And as far as I can tell, maybe it doesn't need to take a lot of work, and yet it probably will take a shitload of work. Hard work. You need to be committed to finding out what's true, and likely you will find out what's true, but no promises here. Okay? So I hope that helps a little bit. I understand the challenge if you can't make it for workshop, okay? But you don't need one. And they can be incredibly useful at the same time. So, it's up to you. Maybe find a way or get creative or find somebody that's doing work nearer to you that is not in the U.S., which that's also a possibility. You could go over to, I don't know what country you are. I'm assuming you're I'm not exactly sure where you're from. I'm assuming India or something like that. Maybe you can go to Europe. They do enlightenment intensives in Europe, and you can sit down in an intense environment and attempt to become directly conscious of the true nature of yourself or reality or life. And people do enlightenment intensives all over the place, so you can look that up and check it out. Not just here, but everywhere. Okay, just look it up, enlightenment intensives, and that should help. Number 2, what is the sound of silence that I hear while meditation? Is this the truth and the source of everything that Sandeep Maheshwari talks about? Well, if you're hearing a sound and you're meditating, is this the truth? No. It's a sound you hear that you're calling silence while meditating. Is it the truth? No. Is it something you perceive and experience? Yes. Is that true? No. Is it the source and the truth of the source of everything what Sandeep Maheshwari talks about? I have no idea what Sandeep talks about, so I'm sorry. I cannot tell you, and I don't know. Okay? And if you are meditating and having some experience, there is nothing true, ultimately, about experience itself. You see, this stuff here, what we're living within. There's nothing true about it. It does seem to be the most true thing we have is what we experience, and yet at the same time, there's no ultimate truth to what the experience is. Sorry if that sounds a little weird. Okay, but you're going to have to figure that out on yourself, and don't believe me about that. Just question and get what's true, and then you'll know. And likely you'll agree with me, but it's another matter. Okay, so thanks for watching. It's Brendan Lee from Consciousness and Skill Worldwide. I hope I've answered your question to some satisfaction and provided some value to you today. Thanks very much. Catch you later. Bye.